Have you ever been in a conversation and just didn't know where to go next? Maybe you forgot what you wanted to say and start searching for words in a panic. Maybe you just don't understand what the other person is talking about. Or maybe you just don't know much about the topic and you just don't know how you're going to be able to contribute to the conversation. Today, let's talk about some phrases you can use when you get yourself into a sticky situation and you need to keep the conversation moving along. Are you ready to learn those phrases? If so, then let's get into it. Every confident native speaker uses some of the phrases that we're going to talk about today, and even native English speakers are not perfect because no one is. When we don't know what to say or we have lost our way in a conversation, there's a lot of phrases that we can use to keep the conversation moving. The key is to have enough confidence to stay calm and get the conversation back to where you want it. For people who speak English really well, they know their stuff, of course, but they also have a handful of phrases that they can use to get themselves out of trouble. And the most important thing for you is to know what to say to get yourself unstuck. There are so many phrases that you can use, so today, let's talk about some of them. Have you ever come across someone and you started talking with them? The conversation is going really well at first, but you just get to a point where you realize, I don't really understand what's happening here. They might have an accent that is difficult to pick up, you might not know some of the words that they're using, or you just don't know about the topic in general. In this situation, you can say, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Or, could you repeat that? Maybe they were speaking too fast for you. Then you can use something like, could you say that again more slowly? Or, I'm sorry, I'm just not following you. And this phrase is used when we don't understand or the meaning is just not that clear to us. I don't think I understood clearly. Could you say that again? To get better, you have to practice using these phrases in different situations and with different people. If you have a chance, try some of these out in a conversation the next time. If you don't try, then when you really need some of these phrases, it'll be hard to recall them. Next, what do you do when you forget what you want to say? Everyone has had a situation where you suddenly forget what you wanted to say or what you were talking about altogether. And the other person is waiting, but you have just frozen up. In this situation, what do? What's that word? Or it's on the tip of my tongue are a couple of phrases that you can use. It's on the tip of my tongue is used that the word is right there in your head and it's just waiting to come out, but you can't remember it. I'm sorry, I just went blank is another good phrase that you can use. By using phrases like these, you're letting the other person know that you're having trouble. And they will probably try to help you find the words as well. And using these phrases are also much better than just being stuck, getting really quiet, and not saying anything at all. You can also try something like, I forgot the English word, or do you know what I mean? You can also just kind of get out of the topic altogether by using a phrase, never mind. Never mind. How about tell me more about that other thing we were talking about? Or, never mind, I'm sure it'll come back to me later. And the most important thing here is to confidently keep the conversation moving forward. It's okay not to know something because it's happened to all of us, even native speakers make mistakes in our English to English conversation. Maybe you didn't forget a word, but you just forgot what you were talking about altogether. If this happens to me, I would say, hold on, let me start over. Or, can we try that again one more time? I completely lost my train of thought. It's really up to you how you're going to react in this situation. You can get embarrassed and just stop talking, or you can use some of these phrases to confidently push the conversation forward and fill in the gaps. The more you use these type of phrases, the better, and the more confident you will be in different types of situations. Don't let small things stop you from speaking confidently. As long as the other person knows what's happening, they'll be more willing to help you out and keep that conversation going. Simple phrases, body language, and facial expressions go a long way to helping you have a great conversation. So really practice these phrases so you can use them when you need them. Also, really watch my facial expressions so you can see how the phrases can be used with the facial expressions plus the body language to really get your point across. Next, let's talk about those times when you just don't know what to say. Maybe you are not prepared. Maybe you just don't know enough about the topic. You don't know how to get into the conversation, or you just need a little more time to get your thoughts together before you start speaking. Truthfully, I'm not really familiar with US politics. If you need more time to think about what you want to say, try, that's interesting. Let me think for a minute. I've never been asked that before. I'm not sure. Give me a second to think about it. Give me a second to think about how to explain it in English. By using phrases like these, you can buy yourself some time in the conversation. Just a short time to relax yourself, give you some time to get your thoughts together and think about what you want to say next. If you're in a conversation with more than one person, you can also say, I'm gonna need a little time to think about it. Does anyone else want to jump in? Another common situation you can find yourself in is when someone asks you to share your thoughts or opinions about something. Maybe they surprise you, you don't have anything to share with them, or you just don't know what you want to say yet. Instead of going into a panic, trying to figure out what you want to say, you can also lead the conversation right back to them. I've never thought about that before. What about you? I've never been asked that before. What do you think? You can even ask a very casual, what's your take? Which is asking them about their opinion on the topic at hand. This will do two things for you. First, the other person will start talking and you might get some ideas just by listening to them. And second, it's going to give you a little time to think about your answer. If you don't really have an opinion, you can also agree or disagree with whatever they're saying. And most importantly, it's just a way for you to keep the conversation going. What if someone asks you something that you aren't comfortable talking about? It's okay not to answer, so here's a few phrases that you can use in that situation. I'd rather not answer if that's okay. Is it okay if we talk about something else? The conversation will continue, but in a way that's more comfortable for you. Finally, what happens if you are in a situation where the other person just has no idea what you are talking about? Have you ever gotten a blank stare or a look of confusion when you were talking? The key is to notice it first, then you can use one of these phrases to help you out. Maybe you aren't being clear, or it could just be them. Whichever one it is, how about trying, am I being clear? Or, are you following me? These phrases are used to check in and make sure that they understand, and it will also give them time to ask some questions if they don't. If you are 100% confident that they are not following you, how about try, I don't think I'm being very clear, or let me try that again. Sometimes, no matter what you do or how hard you try, you won't be understood, and this is okay too. In this situation, you can say, I'm sorry. I think there was a misunderstanding. What I meant to say was, this way you can say what you're trying to say in a different way to make it clear for the other person. Also try, I don't think I've explained myself clearly. And the most important thing here is to make it as easy as possible for the other person to understand you. I hope these phrases will be helpful for you. If so, how about leave a like down below and share this with someone. If you are interested in learning any more English, how about check out this video I'll leave right here about the shadow technique, which is going to help you with your English fluency. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. See you.